Night in the SEC. A little bit of a slow start. You guys don't get any hits the first 3 innings, but then kind of come alive in those middle innings.
Well, to be honest with you, I think a lot of it has to do with Adam Hill on the mound. He was really sharp early, and I think the only bad inning really that we had offensively against him was the third. I think it was a 7-pitch inning, and the next inning he threw 30-plus pitches, and we ended up scoring a couple runs there. And but sometimes it's not really your offense that's having an off night. Sometimes it has everything to do with the guy on the mound.
How important are innings like that fourth inning where not only do you put a couple runs on the board, get the lead, but also push that pitch count up against a guy on a Friday night?
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do against Adam Hill. I know Princeton last week got him to, I think, 94 pitches, through 5, and then forced him to go to their pen maybe an inning or two earlier than they probably want to. But, the first 3 innings he was really sharp.
Brady Singer on the other side, I called him kind of quietly spectacular. I mean, you look down, you look at the stat sheet, and it looks maybe even better than you kind of realize after he gets done. He would just seem like he was locating and able to make big pitches when he needed to.
Yeah, he did, and he was, and that's not even as sharp as he usually is, and he's still. But that's what Brady does. Even when he doesn't have his best stuff, he always keeps us in position to win, and that's the mark of a guy that pitches on Friday nights in our league.
How has he progressed, since he's gotten to Florida and now taken over that Friday night role for you?
He's been really good. Last year he probably could have been a Friday night starter for most teams in the country. So kind of waited his turn, and the same thing can be said about Jackson Kowar or Tyler Dyson, who those guys are going to pitch on Saturday and Sunday. So he's a special, but he's obviously. He's a treat to watch because he's ultra competitive. Obviously, he's got great stuff, and he's going to pitch for an awfully long time. But what sets him apart from most is probably the competitive spirit he has.
You see the competition coming out in the first inning. The umpire makes a little bit more of a deal than it seemed to be. How do you kind of adjust, I guess, managing when there's automatic warnings basically thrown out in the first inning? Does that change the way you kind of attack talking to the umpires and everything else?
No, it's his call. I was confused. I got charged with a mound visit there in the first when I was just trying to calm Brady down a little bit. But no, the SEC is very competitive, and it's obviously I thought the umpires did a really nice job during the first.
With Jonathan Indio in the middle of that lineup, already with 7 homers now, just showing kind of raw power there, driving it to probably the deepest part of the ballpark. What strides he made this year to be a middle of the lineup bat for you?
He's always been really talented. I think the biggest thing for him, the message we had for him at the end of the fall was, performing, having his performance match his skill set. He's very, very talented. He's probably one of the best third basemen I've ever coached defensively. He can run, and he's got power. He's one of those rare guys that can probably play the middle of the infield as well, and he's got some power and he can run. And I think now we're just starting to see his performance match up his skill set, like I said.